What's up, YouTube? Underworld 6667. I know. Videos, man. Videos. Coming out like crazy. I like these little short, little informational videos about how not to make binder blenders. So I think I'm going to be doing this a little more frequently. Now, let's talk about, as you can tell by the title, as usual, the Battle Pack 2 cards that were announced as ultra rares coming out in the Battle Pack 2 packs. Of course, you got Fog King, High Priestess of Prophecy, number 11 Big Eye. That's right, number 11 Big Eye, Dragoonity Vajrayana, and of course, Safe Zone. Now, what does this mean for the actual game? What does this mean for potential profit that you can make? Now let's go through it. Fog King, it was a secret rare. It is now a ultra rare, a little bit easier to get. It's not as old. It's something that would be in high supply and not a lot of demand. Not a lot of people were looking for Fog Kings, but because people were looking for them and they were so old, the price jumped up quite dramatically from like $5 card to like $15 to $20 card. I think it hit around 25 at one point. Now, High Priestess of Prophecy, it was $100 to $100 and maybe $20, $140 card because people originally used it in spellbooks. Then Judgment Day came out and we sort of figured out, hey, you don't really need a High Priestess of Prophecy. You could just use your little tiny Jowgen and your Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer and kick the crap out of Dragon Rulers. Now that that's in there, as discussed in the previous video about Wave 2 Tins, spellbook cards, other than Spellbook of Master obviously, and High Priestess of Prophecy, will be in demand. A lot of people have now access to a cheaper version of spellbooks, so it's a little bit more of an incentive to actually play the deck. It is a powerful deck. I know it hasn't really won much because Dragon Rulers kind of takes the spotlight. However, it is still a good idea to pick up a little tiny bit. That way you can make a little tiny bit of profit. Start off your own collection, maybe make your own Binder Blenders episode in the future. Now, number 11 Big Eye was just an obvious play by Konami to sell the actual packs. I don't blame them. They're trying to make a little bit of profit every single time they release some packs. They also want to make it fair for everyone to be able to use the cards without paying over $100, $150 for a single card. Now, Big Eyes are used in almost anything that can make a rank 7. So, having it in this pack just makes it fly off the shelves a little bit easier. Unfortunately, it doesn't really give you much to actually pick up, mostly because Dragon Rulers are seen to be maybe hit with regards to the actual spell card Dragon Ravine, or even Return from a Different Dimension. But remember, the rank 7s will still be there. I'm pretty sure that the Dragon Rulers will still be there. The Dragon Ruler deck as a whole, maybe not. But it's a good idea to pick up a little bit just so you can make a little bit of profit. Dragoonity Knight Vajrayana. That was a sitting around $50 super rare, originally from an actual pack. Unfortunately, the rest of the actual Dragoonities came out in Hidden Arsenal, so they sat fairly, cheap comparatively. Now, Vajrayana, because of Dragon Rulers incorporating, the actual Dragoonity archetype into their deck, made Vajrayana go up to about $65 to $75, I believe. So it was a little bit inaccessible. However, now that it is coming out in Battle Pack 2, Vajrayana has now reduced in price because they expect to be able to use the one in Battle Pack 2. But what we can take from it is the other Dragoonity cards, like Dragon Ravine, Dragoonity Phalanx, and that kind of thing, are still going to be wanted. People will still want them. Same thing with Atum. Those are the kind of cards that you want to be looking into to get really, really cheap. That way you can make a little bit of profit later. Last but not least, of course, Safe Zone. Safe Zone has found a very nice spot in an Evil Sworn deck. Using itself with the ability to use Key Beetle to protect it makes Key Beetle a very, very hard thing to kill. So this allows you to potentially make a little bit of profit on Evil Sworn stuff. The good thing about Evil Sworn stuff and the good thing about investing in Evil Sworn stuff is it's fairly inexpensive. So if you do invest, $5, $10, if you lose $5, $10, I mean, you probably would have spent it on a lottery ticket anyway. So this is your lottery ticket right here. You buy a little bit of Evil Sworn stuff, eventually it may increase in price. It may just stay flat and plateau, at which point you're not losing anything for your initial investment. But most likely, unless something happens to Evil Sworns, it will not go down. So that's a good investment because there's not a lot of room for it to go down. If it goes down, it's probably got banned. But it'll just stay at plateaued and then go up. Always, just remember, when looking at an actual set, don't just look at the cards themselves, look at the potential for profit. And as always, don't make binder blunders.